I'm Austin Hollowfield, and I'm doing a TED Talk on mass surveillance. I woke up on a hot June Carolina morning and turned on the TV to see the first of an ongoing series of massive surveillance leaks. Even at 13, lacking life experience and lots of knowledge, these set like a pit in my gut. A single name was attached to these leaks. It was Edward Snowden. A man that had everything but gave it up out of commitment to the truth and to the American people. All of this loss to expose one thing: NSA mass surveillance. I had a 45-minute bus ride due to busing, but that's a story for another TED Talk. I stewed over that, what I heard on the early news that morning about how Snowden downloaded information that fled the country for Hong Kong. I spoke to my friend Kenneth, and what he said was quite thought-provoking to me. What if they, the mass surveillance, overheard a person say that they were going to drunk drive, and they had the opportunity to prevent that? Then that dawned on me. Mass surveillance is not about public safety. It is rather about security. In the 1970s, Richard Tricky Dick Nixon wiretapped a hotel room, and it cost him the presidency. The only president to have to resign in office because he was facing impeachment. Yet Bush and Obama both allowed the nation to get wiretapped, and they both served 2 full terms. The Patriot Act, which was intended to be a post-9/11 temporary security, yet it is still in place because the government, as a bipartisan effort, has kept it in place through Obama and Bush, and it appears to be going steady through the Trump era as well. But what exactly is the Patriot Act? It is an act that is intended to prevent acts of terrorism and to prevent American citizens, according to Justice.gov. The Patriot Act is not the first Orwellian act to be made in law. In 1918, the Sedition Act was used to crack down on freedom of speech and anti-war movements during the First World War, which notably led to the arrest and imprisonment of a socialist presidential candidate. But that was later repealed in 1921. The first brick in the wall of the modern surveillance state was Executive Order 12333. This executive order was signed by Ronald Reagan, and it granted new powers to the intelligence community to collect intelligence on American soil. The most Orwellian of the programs Snowden leaked was known as PRISM. It allowed the NSA to permit officials to collect material including search history, the content of emails, file transfer, and live chats. The NSA had access to such major internet giants as Apple, Facebook, and even Google. It could get unwarranted information on anyone that uses those services. How free can you be when your thought is not private to you? In the spring of 2017, WikiLeaks leaked 8,761 documents about CIA hacking and surveillance techniques. These leaks were known as Vault 7, and included information about joint US-UK efforts to hack Samsung TVs to use as surveillance tools and to covert CIA operations out of the consulate in Berlin. The idea of the telescreen is no longer as far-fetched as it seemed in 1984. It's just branded Samsung now. On the 16th of January 2018, Congress voted in favor of ending debate on a 6-year extension of the warrantless surveillance found under the FISA, the Foreign Intelligence Security Act. Just to analyze the makeup of the vote, there are 49 Democrats, including independents, and 51 Republicans. This means that multiple Democrats crossed the party line in favor of giving the Trump administration the power of warrantless surveillance for the remainder of his term, and if a re-election occurs, well into his second. My parents' generation was the last generation to have privacy, a world without Samsung CIA telescreens, a world without PRISM, a world without the Patriot Act and FISA courts. We stand at the turning point of a golden age of wondrous technology. We can either stop ourselves from opening Pandora's box of the surveillance state, or we open Pandora's box and we spend a golden age unable to achieve our individual privacy. This has been Austin Hollowfield and a TED Talk.